Altcoin season doesn't treat every coin the same. Some coins moon. Most get left behind. So today we're talking about why Litecoin, sitting at around $50 right now, might be one of the better positioned coins heading into the second half of 2026. And it comes down to one thing most people are completely sleeping on: the halving cycle. Real quick, altcoin season is when Bitcoin dominance peaks and capital starts rotating into alternative coins. It usually happens after Bitcoin makes a big move and investors start chasing higher percentage gains in smaller assets. We're in that window right now. Bitcoin had its halving in 2024. The post-halving bull cycle historically peaks 12 to 18 months later, which puts us squarely in 2025 through late 2026. And when Bitcoin runs, money flows into the next layer of established coins. Litecoin has been in that layer for over a decade. Here's what makes Litecoin different from most altcoins right now. It has its own supply event coming. The next Litecoin halving is projected for approximately July 2027, when the block reward drops from 6.25 Litecoin to 3.125 Litecoin per block. That matters because of what history shows. Based on prior cycles, the strongest price appreciation occurred in the 3 to 6 months immediately before the halving, which would put the most significant price movement somewhere between January and July 2027. But here's the key insight. We're in the accumulation window right now. The 15 months between now and the projected July 2027 halving represent the historical accumulation window that precedes Litecoin's pre-halving rally. Smart money doesn't wait until the halving to buy. They position before it. Every halving cycle is different. Here's what's new this time. First, the ETF. 3 major asset managers, Grayscale, Canary Capital, and CoinShares, filed applications for U.S. spot Litecoin ETFs. Bloomberg analysts put the probability of approval at 90 to 95%, citing the fact that the CFTC already classifies Litecoin as a commodity. One of those ETFs is already trading. That's institutional infrastructure that didn't exist in prior halving cycles. If a Litecoin ETF is fully approved before July 2027, the institutional demand floor could partially emerge for LTC, potentially producing a more sustained post-halving rally rather than the typical sell-the-news correction. That would break the historical pattern in a bullish way. Second, new tech. Litecoin VM is an EVM-compatible Layer 2 rollup, with its testnet already seeing over 230,000 transactions and 41,000 unique wallets shortly after its early 2026 launch. The mainnet rollout is projected for late 2026. That brings smart contracts and DeFi to Litecoin for the first time. A completely new use case. Let's be honest about what analysts actually say, not just the hype. The conservative case. LTC builds a base in the $50 to $70 range through mid-2026, then begins pre-halving anticipation buying in the second half of 2026. If you bought today and it hits $150 by end of year, that's still a 3 times. The bull case, some analysts project LTC trading between $150 and $300 in 2026, depending on broader market conditions and Bitcoin's performance. Add ETF approval on top of that, and you're looking at potential upside well beyond those numbers. The $500 scenario? That's the aggressive bull case, and it would require everything lining up. Altcoin season in full swing, ETF approved, Litecoin VM mainnet live, and Bitcoin holding strong. Possible? Yes. Guaranteed? Absolutely not. You need to hear this too. Litecoin dropped 90% from its 2021 high. Crypto markets are brutal. ETF approval could be delayed. The broader market could flip bearish. And newer blockchains are constantly competing for the same users. There are analysts with near-term bearish targets below $51, warning of further declines if key support levels break. This is not a one-way trade. Don't put in money you can't afford to lose. Dollar cost averaging over time is how most people manage the volatility without getting wrecked. Here's the summary. Litecoin is entering a historically significant window. Altcoin season overlapping with its own pre-halving accumulation phase, an ETF in motion, and new tech launching this year. Whether it hits $150 or $500, the setup is more interesting than it's been in years. Subscribe if you want to follow this play as it develops. And drop a comment. Are you holding LTC or watching from the sidelines?